is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to all of their records so you don't have to. And this week we're in punk season and we are doing the Ramones. So we listen to all 14 records, like I said, so you don't have to, because there's a lot of stuff here. Luckily, all of these records are like between 30 and 35 minutes. But yeah, 14 Ramones records. We're going to get through them all. And we're going to list our biggest banger from each of them if we got them. Stinker, possibly. I don't know. So yeah, my name is Tyler. Way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. Share the post with all your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And yeah, let's get into this. Actually, let's start with our 6 degrees with Tom DeLonge. Do you have anything? I have one thing today.
Do it.
Today. Do you have anything?
Dude, I barely got through these records. Okay.
All right. That's fair. So yeah, 6 degrees with Tom DeLonge. That's where we connect the band of the week to our boy Tom DeLonge and Blink. So we start with CJ Ramone, the last member to join the Ramones. CJ Ramone plays with me first in the Gimme Gimmes. Fat Mike, obviously with me first in the Gimme Gimmes. Travis Barker,
the easiest fucking possible route.
I literally just thought of it right before we started recording. And then Travis played on Fat Mike's solo record. Travis Barker, Boxcar Racer, Tom DeLonge. There you go. Perfect. Easy peasy. Right? Right. Why? At least I did something. At least I did some homework.
That's
right?
true. Usually you do nothing.
Fun.
But yeah, you're right. Usually you do nothing.
But I did everything. I had to pick up the slack. All right, so let's get into the worst Ramones record. This has been a long week. But yeah, the worst Ramones record. What do you got? Go.
This has been kind of a long week. Usually when bands have this many records, sometimes it kind of sucks, sometimes it's really fun. But this stuff is just like, dude, they only needed to make one record. That's all they needed to make. That's it. So I have 2 bad records. I think 2 of the records are like bad, god awful. And then I have a lot of stuff that's just like, what the fuck is this? But the worst thing that I hated the most was Acid Eaters, the record from '93, their covers record. Like, dude, what the fuck? Doing a covers album is fine, especially when you're doing like punk rock covers, right? Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, that's cool, but that's their shtick. That's their band. That's what they do. This is so late in their career that this is not fine. You are way too fucking old to be doing bad, fucking terrible covers like this. You're no, dude. This was stupid. And some of these covers are fucking awful. Like their cover of whatever they did by CCR. I think it was Have You Seen the Rain? Have you ever seen the rain? Dude, that was fucking awful.
Terrible. It's terrible.
God awful. Their Surf City cover, god awful. This was
Surfing
man,
Spot,
this
right?
was something. Surf City.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, this was impressive. I was impressed by how fucking bad this was. And the cover art's so cool. I love
the cover art. Yeah, the cover art was super cool.
And calling it Acid Eaters, like that's cool, man. When you're 20, not now.
Yeah, not your 13th record in 1993.
Yeah, this band. Yeah, this record sucked. This record was awful. This was hard to get through. Luckily, I was at work, so I was doing other things, and it eventually finished. But this was hard to get through.
So yeah, Acid Eaters is also my number 14.
Boom.
Yeah, this is it's stupid. It's a cash grab, and even fucking CJ Ramone and a couple of other guys, they said, yeah, this is only done to like fulfill a contract agreement that they had. So like there was no reason for this. The only theme behind the record, the covers record, is that they only chose bands from the 1960s, and that's why it was also called Acid Eaters. So they did Amboy Dukes, they did CCR, they did like a Bob Dylan song.
I said they haven't been doing this their entire career anyway.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, Acid Eaters it's just garbage, man. Once again though, cool fucking cover. One of their coolest covers that they have too.
Yeah.
They have a lot of dumb covers, like album covers. But this is like actually one of the top 3. Maybe the best one.
It might be the best one. It's fucking cool.
Yeah. So what do you got for number 13? Go.
Number 13, go. End of the Century, 5th record, 1980. The infamous Phil Spector record.
Yes.
New record. What was that from? What was that?
No idea what that's from.
New record. That's from Mario 64. When you beat a record, when you beat a time trial thing.
Oh, okay.
It would say like new record, but the way it said record was new record.
I don't remember that. I guess I never I
You never
never
played
broke any
Mario
records.
64. You weren't.
I never broke any records, so
You weren't a true yet. No, that makes sense. So this is the Phil
you're
Spector
so
record.
annoying.
The recording of this is something of horrible legend. The band, except for Marky, claims that Phil was a nutcase and had like bodyguards and 3 different studios pre-booked, but kept it secret until like the day of recording. So you had to call in, like, where are we going today, man? And they would tell you, oh, we're going to Studio A, Studio B. Phil be waving guns around all over the place. Just fucking dumb, dude. But it's like the highest charting record. And a lot of it has to do with like their crossover into pop, which like, oh, now they're pop. Like, bro, they've always been pop. Get the fuck out of here, first of all. And they do a cover of Baby Come On, which is a Phil song that he wrote for the Ronettes. And Dee Dee had said that for a long time after this record came out, people would come to their shows, and as soon as they heard the Ramones version of Baby I Love You, they just fucking leave because it sucks. And it does suck.
It's terrible.
It's fucking absolute ass. It's garbage. This is a stupid ass record, but it's only above Acid Eaters because I think that Rock and Roll High School is kind of fun.
Yeah, that's a cool song.
But that is it. Like, this whole record is just dumb fucking shitty Grease bootleg soundtrack. And it opens up with a song that has like horns and an orchestral arrangement. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm done.
Yeah. It's quite the departure. Quite the departure. So
stupid.
My 13 is also End of the Century from 1980. This is their 5th record. 5th fucking record, man. Yeah, Phil Spector. I mean, the stories are crazy. I mean, if you believe them, like there was also another story where they made him. They made like he made 2 of the guys sit next to him while he was playing the piano for like 3 hours at gunpoint.
Played Baby Come On over and over
again. And then apparently he would, I mean, I guess he's always done this, but like he'll just like fuss over like a snare hit for like 2 hours, just modulating and fucking around with the sound and shit like that. And this record cost $200,000 to make. That's crazy. And it's a garbage fucking record. It's not good.
It's not good at all.
I mean, it's so significantly different from everything prior and after it. Like sonically, just everything. It doesn't sound like the Ramones. And it's terrible, and not that big of a Ramones guy, and this is terrible, man. This is just fucking terrible. End of the century.
Terrible.
My number 13. What do you got for number 12? Go.
So my next, like, fucking all of them are pretty like meh. I don't really care anymore. But Animal Boy, I'm not gonna fuss or fight over this one. Their 9th record, 86. This is just like, there were some times in this, it was so fucking goofy, just really, really shitty 80s sounding garbage. But then other times, like, okay, that was like a cool little catchy thing you got there. Like, Ramones are coming back a little bit because they always write kind of like at least catchy hooks, some catchy songs. But they also use like sound effects on this one, like some synth sound effects that were really fucking dumb. Their names were kind of like animalistic in nature, and that was really stupid. This record's dumb. I don't care. Whatever. Fuck off.
All right, from here on out, yeah, I don't think there's anything spectacular. I think it's just okay to good. That's really what the Ramones are to me. Even the album of the week, I get their place in history, which we'll talk about later on the main episode. But yeah, so my number 12 is Pleasant Dreams, 6th record from 1981. This one, it takes a lot of the pop elements from End of the Century and kind of expands on it, but it doesn't have that grand production that Phil Spector did. But it's kind of like a dud pop record. It's just not any good. I really don't like it at all. And what's crazy to me is that these guys made 14 records in a little less than 20 years, and they hated each other. Each member, they all hated each other.
Since like day one.
Yeah, they all and Johnny was the worst of them all. Like everything I've read, Johnny was the fucking worst. So like this record, Dee Dee's like fucking hooked on heroin. Like he died of a heroin overdose like in 2002, something like that. But I mean, it's just he was a total fucking junkie at this point. Johnny stole Joey's girlfriend, the girl left Joey for Johnny. He never forgave him for that. So there was always this tension for the rest of their life, even to the point where Johnny didn't even go to Joey's funeral because Johnny was God, Johnny's a fucking dick. He's just a fucking dick. And really that's what I'm going to talk about the most when I talk about the Ramones is all the fighting and dumb fucking childish behavior that all of these members, were just They just childish, man. They were just fucking idiot children.
Yeah.
Pleasant Dreams, a bad fucking pop record. Bad pop record.
Yeah, okay.
What do you got for number 11?
Mondo Bizarro, they're 1292. This sits here, and I don't have like anything else written except for just this was the most bland of the bland I listened to, and that's it. That's all I got. That's it. Nothing else.
So my number 11 is Halfway to Sanity, 10th record from 1987.
Wow.
Yeah, this one was just it was fine. It was more of the same that we had heard on the last couple records prior to this, like some hardcore stuff, or hardcore type stuff, some metal type stuff. Still has those underlying pop melodies in some songs. It's not a bad record. It's just fine. This is the last one they did with Richie Ramone on drums. He was fired because Johnny was pretty much being a dick to him and saying, we're not going to, share merchandising rights because you're not an original member. And it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. You guys are already like playing small shit. Like you guys have already fallen from grace. Like Johnny was just so up his own fucking ass. His ego was so fucking big. So Richie leaves the band. They hire Elvis Ramone, who was, I forgot his real name, but he was the drummer for Blondie. And he played 2 shows with them, and he sucked so bad that they fired him. And then I forgot who did they bring back Marky at this point? I don't remember now. But I don't know. It's Halfway to Sanity. It's stupid. The band's so checked out. The band is so checked out at this point.
Which is so weird because like I don't know what Elvis's real name was either, but
like Clem.
Yeah, Clem
Burke, maybe
Clem something.
Yeah,
it was something that I thought was like, that's kind of like a white trashy name. It's definitely Clem or Cletus. I think it was Clem.
It was Clem. Yeah, it wasn't Cletus.
But I was like, dude, he fucking like he slayed on those Blondie records. Like he was great.
Yeah.
Like get the fuck out. What you mean? Like he's bad? He's the best drummer you ever fucking had.
And then you listen to the fucking first Ramones record, and the drumming's all fucking sloppy. It's all fucking. Tommy Ramone is not a very good drummer.
And when he does find a beat that he can actually play, like he sticks to that fucking beat. Like that's all that he plays. Even little cymbal hits that he does every once in a while, like he's in fucking half the record. It's like, bro.
I think Elvis was just too good for the band, and they were probably embarrassed by it that they were so shitty that they just ended up firing him after 2 shows because they couldn't keep up with him. That's probably what it was. They couldn't keep up with him.
Absolutely. God, it's terrible.
Yeah, Ramones are terrible. They're not good, man.
They're not good.
Sorry, guys. We're not Ramones. Sorry, anybody listening.
Sorry.
We're not Ramones, guys. We never cared for Ramones growing up, but yeah, dude. Looking at these records, like trying to look at them objectively, just so many bands did it better after them. I understand bands were so influenced by them, but damn, a lot of these records are just they're not good musicians. They're not really that great.
We gotta save some of them for the main episode.
No, I know.
Like my notes are thin for the songs.
Thin, yeah. Okay, so what do you got for number 10?
10, Brain Drain, 11th from 89. This one was also hard to get through because I just did not give a shit. It was boring, much like Animal Boy. There were parts of it where I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're a punk band. Get the fuck out of here. But the song Ignorance is Bliss, dude, that was a playlistable punk rock jam. That was a fucking banger of a song. But that's it. That's why it's there. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck about this record.
All right, my number 10 is Leave Home, second record from 1977.
Damn,
there's nothing particularly wrong with this record, but damn, we already heard this on Ramone on the first record. Why do we need another half hour of 3-chord downstrokes? Like it's just they literally did nothing different on this record. And what I thought was kind of I read something a little bit outside of this record. They would go from playing one show, like opening up for Blue Oyster Cult in like an arena, and then the following night play at CBGB's, and then go back the next night and play with Blue Oyster Cult or some big band opening up for them, and then going back to CBGB's. Like, damn, dude, what a weird just back and forth, and just what a weird band.
And that's that's what makes their punk aesthetic cool, is that they can do that, and they did do that, and they somewhat enjoyed doing that. But again, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I'm going to rail on this band for fucking 30 minutes.
All right, so what do you got for number 9?
And I'm going to rail on the old geezers that fucking think the Ramones are like God's gift to this earth. Yeah. Number 9, Pleasant Dreams, their 6th record. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, they're like you said, they're fucking falling apart. Like Girlfriend Stealing, songwriting credit fights. And this is an album they fought about like their direction too, like stay punk or like truly embrace pop, because their Phil Spector one that came out, and like that was their highest charting record. And so they finally did like appease Sire, and they're like, oh, we didn't make a little bit of money on this. But it's like, dude, you guys are already, you've been popped since fucking day one. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you guys are literally just like,
band.
You're Ricky Nelson with chuggy guitars. Like, there's no fucking difference. Get the hell out of here. Fuck off.
Yeah.
So Pleasant Dreams was fun. It was enjoyable. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. I'm literally at a 1, dude. All these are like ones. Like, you listen to these one time, and that is it. Solid ones.
Yeah. When Jeff says 1, or when we say 1 out of 3, we have our 3-point rating system is 3 is a perfect album. Yeah. 3 is a perfect album. 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to. 1 is a bad album, but give it a shot. And 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So yeah.
I wonder if I can trademark that. I wonder if we can trademark that.
Sick though.
3-point
rating system.
Be so inconsequential and stupid and pointless.
All rankings are stupid. I mean, this whole thing is stupid the way we're talking about this. That we've been ranked all these records.
Tribe Called Quest and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Well, like, what part of that is stupid? Is it stupid that like we're allowing hip hop and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because like they embody like the rock and roll lifestyle kind of thing, or just it's just stupid in general?
It's just stupid in general.
I don't know.
Awards shows are stupid. You know, lists are stupid. Rankings are stupid. But we love doing them anyway. Love them anyway.
Love to rank things.
Can't help it. So my number 9 is Rocket to Russia, 3rd record from 1977. Once again, just there's nothing different here. It's 3 records of 3-chord songs. You know, it's just, I'm over it. We're an hour and a half deep now of the same song. So it sounds sonically, it sounds a little bit better because the budget was significant. It was like 4 times bigger than their first record budget wise. So they spent a little bit more time on it. But why? I don't know why they did. I mean, the songs are all this. I mean, there's really nothing more here, you know, musically, songwriting wise. And then fucking Johnny Ramone, this motherfucker.
It's your boy, dude.
I hate Johnny Ramone. Like, I understand I get his influence, but him as like an egotistical asshole, and that's what he was. Like, he was pissed off at this time because Sex Pistols he claims that Sex Pistols ripped him off, which is fine. Whatever, maybe they did. And then he wanted to make this record. They wanted to make this record because they wanted to sound just as good as Nevermind the Bollocks. So they put this record out, but the sales weren't as good. So then he blamed the Sex Pistols again because Sex Pistols were giving punk rock a bad name for being too violent and rowdy and all that kind of shit. So he's just blaming everybody else. And also, Johnny Ramone doesn't write fucking shit. Johnny Ramone barely wrote any of their music. Some stuff on the earlier records, but everything after like the 4th record, he almost had nothing to do with. It was Dee Dee who fucking wrote everything. Dee Dee and Joey wrote almost everything.
Yeah.
Which is just like, who the fuck are you, Johnny? Like, you're a shitty fucking guitar player. You can just fucking do downstrokes for an hour. Oh, big fucking deal. Fucking James Hetfield he fucking does that in his fucking sleep for 3 hours. Fucking Johnny Ramone. Fucking, I can't stand Johnny Ramone. Can't stand him. He is such a for like no good reason. He's a fucking.
Dee Dee's not much better. Dee's fucking irritating too.
He's not, but at least he writes the music. Like, at least he writes the music and he sings on some songs. Johnny would go into the fucking studio and then say, "No, I don't like that. I refuse to play whatever you wrote." Then write a fucking song, you asshole. Fuck you. God, Johnny's the worst. I can't stand Johnny Ramone. I really, really tried to like find something about that guy that had like some redeeming quality, but there's nothing about Johnny Ramone that I like.
No, it's true. I mean,
just a straight up dick.
Because of the fact, because of just like Joey and Dee Dee writing the songs, it's like, you're fucking worthless. And we have someone else that can play the guitar. Like, you don't need to have a 4-piece. You can just be a 3-piece and you would have done just fine.
Yeah. Considering what they actually play, like, you don't hear them like, oh, I'll get into it. But anyway, so what do you got for number 8?
Number 8, Adios Amigos, 95. Firstly, the Tom Waits cover they do of I Don't Want to Grow Up.
Yeah. I don't want to grow up.
I don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. Yeah, whatever. Second best Ramones song. I fucking love that song so much. This record is just beautiful, like 90s punk rock, right? Just like Dookie-esque punk rock. it does taper off very, very hard
Yes.
after like the middle of the record. And it's like, oh, damn. But if it kept that energy, this would easily be my number one. But it's not nearly as bad as like reviews and people would have you think it is.
Yeah.
But that's just because this is like their last record, and it's like that's not the Ramones I grew up with, and so that's why it gets shitty reviews. But this is still pretty fucking good. And that Tom Waits song, Tom Waits' version, I don't know if you listened to it this week, but
I didn't.
Oof, I like me some Tom Waits. I like the Tom Waits that I like is when he's really, really kind of like poetic and he's just trying to read poetry to like a beat or something, or to like a rhythm. I like that. But when he tries to sing and do something like that, it's fucking, it's so bad. Tom Waits' version is so fucking bad.
I'll take your word for it. Take your word for it.
So bad.
All right. So my number 8 is Brain Drain, 11th record from 1989. I actually do have a banger off this one. This record starts off really strong. Like the first 3-4 songs, like, damn, this could be their best record. Like this could really be it. But then it just, like all of their records, it tapers off. Every record you get midway through the record and you're just like, oh God, I've heard the song. They've done this 100 times already. But yeah, the first 3-4 songs off this one are bangers. 00 UFO, there's the second song on here. Fucking absolute fucking banger. So this is the last album with Dee Ramone on as a member. He didn't even play bass on it. He wrote like half the record. Him and Joey wrote each like half the record pretty much. And then Johnny was pissed because it's Johnny. He was mad because Joey wrote too many songs and he doesn't like the way Joey writes songs. So he bitched and bitched and bitched. He didn't like recording this record. Like after 10 years after this record came out, he was like, no, this is one of the worst records we've ever done, which you hear him say about every fucking record. Like
always says that shit.
After 1985, yeah, that was like the worst record.
He always talks about how much he fucking hates like everything about it, how horrible it was recording, and fuck off, dude.
Johnny is the worst. But otherwise, no, this is actually not a great record, but it's solid. It's fucking solid. Once again, they're dabbling in a lot of the hardcore punk, a lot of metal stuff here, which honestly, it's refreshing hearing that rather than just downstrokes the whole fucking time for 2.5 minutes. Just sick of that shit, man. Just so sick of it. Like it's so boring with these guys. It's so boring. So anyway, number 7, what do you got?
Number 7, Leave Home, their second record, 77. I mean, this is just Van Halen 1 to Van Halen 2. It's like you said, it's the same fucking thing. It's not like bad or nothing. It's just like, dude, I just heard this, and like I'm not going to spend another fucking sitcom and a half listening to the same fucking thing I just listened to. But it's not bad. But I do want to say that people love that song, Carbona Not Glue. Local record store owner loves that song, and that song is fucking garbage. That song is not. That's like the worst song on the record. It is not good. It is fucking terrible. So there's that. Yeah, stupid record. I'm honestly, I'm still at a 1. I'm still at a solid 1.
I'm the same way. So my number 7 is Animal Boy, 9th record from 1986. This is, it's in the same vein as the prior record, Too Deaf to Die, and that there's a lot of hardcore and metal elements, and they're still doing it pretty well at this point. I mean, they're not like a bad kind of hardcore band, like a hardcore punk light. That's what the Ramones were like in the early to mid 80s. And it was cool. It was fun to listen to. I don't have too many bad things to say about it. Actually, I do have. Actually, the worst song on the record is on this one, or the worst song they've ever done is actually on this record, and it's "She Belongs to Me."
That song's
this was
garbage.
Co-written by Dee Dee and then Jean Beauvoir. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, from the Plasmatics. This is just absolute trash 80s ballad synth driven crap. It's one of the worst 80s ballads I've ever heard in my whole life, if not the worst. I mean, it's unbelievable that they put this out. It's
embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah, and I mean, outside of that song, like I said, there's some cool hardcore and metal moments. There's a lot of synth on here, a lot of that 80s drum, like 80s production, big loud reverbed out drums. Joey had like nothing to do with the recording of this. He was burnt out. He didn't want to do anything about it. And then Johnny has to step in, bitching about Dee Dee's songwriting, saying, well, that's not how I play the guitar. That's not how my guitar should sound, and this and that. It's like, dude, then fucking do something about it. Then write a fucking song.
I know, like you,
An idiot.
You don't have any tone anyway.
I know.
Fuck out of here.
Just fucking overdrive, man. It's just fucking overdrive. That's all it. Anyway,
Garbage.
number 6. What do you got?
Rocket to Russia, third record, 77. I don't know. This is just another attempt at doing their first record. They even opened up with another hop, right? Like the Blitzkrieg Bop, and then they have another fucking hop here. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit. The Cretan Hop is what it was. And they played the low numbers, like on the Sex Pistols, like you said, dropping their record, and we'll get more into that little battle between the two, because I like the Sex Pistols a little bit more after this week than I ever have, but not their music. I like their aesthetic more, and not that I ever really hated their aesthetic. I've always liked their aesthetic way more than their music anyway. But there's nothing really wrong with this record. It's just really, really boring. And again, dude, I don't know if it's just like the covers in general until they got to their last record, which they finally like nailed it down. But their cover of Surfing Bird is atrocious. Atrocious. And I didn't even finish it. I had to fucking skip that song. I said, no, we're done. Nope. Nope.
All right.
Still at a 1. Still at a 1.
Yeah, I'm still at a 1 too. So my number 6, best or worst, whatever you want to say. Ramones record is Adios Amigos. 14th record, their final record from 1995. They broke up. They did a tour celebrating, the end of the Ramones, and we got this record. It's not really bad. It's solid. There's some good like pop rock punk stuffs here. There's some pop punk thrown in there throughout it. I mean, it's 1995. Dookie had blew up. Offspring Smash had come out, so it's there's this transition of punk music into more like modern pop punk. You know what I mean? Not 1960s.
Good songwriting for punk rock, right? Like, get the
Exactly.
fuck out of here, Ramones. Like, come on. The people that you have inspired are, and like it's fitting that their cover is a couple dinosaurs. And like the people that you inspired to play music are now making you completely obsolete.
Yes, absolutely. Hold on, wait. Okay, so your mic sounded weird, so I wanted to double check you were still connected.
What does it sound like?
It just you sound really far away, but I think it's just our connection, maybe. Oh shit. So yeah, Adios Amigos. That's my number 6. I will say though, I like CJ Ramone a lot. I didn't know much about him, prior to this week, but I do like him a lot. I think his songwriting, he wrote like 4 or 5 of the songs on this record, and honestly, they're the best songs on here. They're really the best songs. The songs The Crusher and the song Scattergun, absolute fucking bangers. Absolute playlist. I playlist both of them, especially Scattergun. That's a fucking amazing song. And for people who talk shit on CJ Ramone, fuck off. Like, just really fuck off. He's the best thing that ever happened to the Ramones, honestly. He really, really is.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, he's better because he's so much fucking younger.
Yeah,
right?
he's 9 years
old. He had time to digest like the punk explosion of the 70s and be like, dude, that was cool, man. I like that we just started this thing. And then also enjoy a lot of the 80s and a lot of the bad, horrible shit of the 80s, but also the good of the 80s. And think, okay, if I was in the Ramones, here's what I would do. And then he was in the Ramones. So like he's really, really good because of all of that.
Yeah. Also, I love the album cover with the dinosaurs with the sombreros. This is my second favorite album cover of theirs. I think it's fucking fantastic. It's stupid, but I fucking love it. And then I read too, like the rumor was that their manager, he chose like a lot of their artwork like later in their career because he owned like their original paintings of whatever was on their album art, and because he thought that if he put it on a Ramones record, it would make the value of the art that he actually owns more valuable, and he could sell it for more if he wanted to.
Yeah,
which is like, damn, dude, that's shady. Kind of fucked up, but whatever. So
fuck
yeah,
this band.
Adios Amigos is my number.
Your boy Johnny was the one that suggested the dinosaurs too, because he's like, yeah, we're fucking old.
Also, Johnny was in like, I don't know what his relationship with that manager was, but like everybody around him was saying like, you got to leave him and you guys got to sign to Epitaph. Like, you guys are going to do so much better with Epitaph. Like in like 1991 or 1992, you're going to do so much better with them. And he's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 20 years. Who the fuck are you? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, fuck off, dude. You were the worst. Fucking Johnny Ramone, man. Don't like him. So what do you got for number 5?
There's something. Halfway to Sanity. Halfway to Sanity, 87. I like this. I mean, I will say this about other records when we get there, but the punk rock sound that they do, that Dookie sound, because they eventually do it, and they do it well before Dookie did it, but they do that sound really well when they're, like you said, when they're incorporating more hardcore punk, when they're incorporating like thrash, metal, other things into their punk rock. It's pretty fucking good. They just don't stay there long enough to enjoy it. Yeah. And Halfway Sanity was kind of the one where I was like, okay, you're doing a lot of things here. You're not doing any of them great, but I like what you're doing with everything. And I don't know. It's fine.
It's fine.
That's all. I really don't
that's what I say. I know.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fun, I guess.
All right. My number 5 is Album of the Week, self-titled Ramones. It's my number 5.
Damn.
So what do you got for number? Okay, that's number 4. So my number 4 is Mondo Bizarro, 12th record from 92. This is the first one with CJ Ramone on bass. This is the point where I was talking about, Brett Gurewitz from Bad Religion was trying to get them to sign to Epitaph. He offered them like so many like opening slots and doing all this shit for the band because everybody loves the Ramones. It's like he could have done so much good for this band, but Johnny had to step in and said, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." But yeah, I don't know. It's a solid record. I actually really like a lot of Joey's songwriting. I think he's one of the better. I think he's kind of a better songwriter than Dee Dee. He has a lot more range than I ever thought he had. Vocally, he does a lot of like cool hardcore stuff. He does like the early '60s stuff, like kind of not doo-wop, but just very kind of pop rock, Beatles-esque kind of stuff. And that's what you hear on this record. He does a lot of vocally. He has a lot of range on this record. There's some really good to heavy stuff, punk to metal stuff. Just honestly, it's a good listen. Mondo Bizarro was fun. It was kind of fun. The opening track, Censor Shit, that's a fucking banger too. That's a fucking banger. But once again, like all of their records, it's extremely top heavy. After like the first 4 songs, it just falls off. It falls off hard. So my number 4 is Mondo Bizarro. What do you got for number 3?
Number 3, Road to Ruin. Road to Ruin.
Okay. And
then, you know what's crazy? Like this was their 4th record in like fucking 2 years.
I know. Right? They put out a lot of
and
records.
that's just crazy. But yeah, this is before the Phil Spector thing, so they're already trying to, and this is what I fucking hate about the Ramones, is that they're so frustrated about not becoming popular, about not becoming famous. It's like, man, fuck off. But I get it. Like punk rock did not exist until that. Well, but it did, but that's all right. Yeah. But yeah, it was like they're tweaking their formula a little bit, getting a little more pop. There's guitar solos going on here. There's ballads. There's like an acoustic guitar thing going on. But it's still kind of dumb because it's like I Want to Be Sedated is a fun song, and it's probably like the first Ramones song that I ever heard. But like the more I listen to it, I'm like, this song's fucking dumb, dude. I don't like this song. I mean, like it's fun to listen to, but I really just don't like that song. It's so stupid and cheesy.
It's very cheesy.
But I don't know. This is just like, this is probably the best time where they incorporated a lot of like pop into their punk, and it worked. But that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. All right, my number 3. We're almost done here.
I just don't care.
My number 3 is Subterranean Jungle, their 7th record from 1983. This one, it's mostly punk songs. Dee Dee wrote a lot of music on this one, but thank God, man, they've removed so much of just the downstroke, power chords, bar chords. I mean, there's some variance here. It's definitely more in the hardcore realm. We're in 1983 now. Now, Misfits have not broken out, but I mean, they become certainly more popular. They're playing Stevie GBs a lot. Black Flag is, kind of a hot ticket in the punk scene as well, the hardcore scene. So it's like they've taken a lot of elements at this point. And Dee Dee wrote some good shit here. He really, really did. My banger is Outsider. I mean, it was written and sung by Dee Dee. It's pretty much all him, and it's good. I mean, there's some like 80s sounding production here, but it's not distracting enough to make me want to just say fuck this record. It's terrible. The songs are good enough to look past it, which is really something because I hate that sound, the 80s production sound, and I really don't care for this band that much. Also, fun little fact about this record: the album cover. There was shot. The four members were being shot like in a subway car.
Member.
What?
3+1 member.
3+1 member. Yeah, Marky was off to the side, looking through like a single window, and then it was foreshadowing that he was getting fired by the band, and he was fired halfway through the recording of this record. And it's just like, dude, you guys are grown ass adults. Why do you have to
they were grown ass adults when their first record dropped?
Yes, I know. Like you're in your late 20s at this point. Like, why do you have to treat Marky like that? Like you guys are all pretty much equally like as shitty people. Like, why do you have to do this? It's just so petty. It's gross. They're just bad. They're just kind of like bad people.
Yeah, they were like 30s.
Like, honestly,
when this record dropped. Like that's, dude.
CJ seems like the only cool Ramone. Like the only Ramone that actually had his head on straight. And I get it. He was younger, and it was way later in their career. But dude, you guys went through a lot of people, and I don't know, man. They're all stupid.
Let's keep it rolling.
What's your number 2? What do you got?
Subterranean Jungle. I like this record. It really reminded me of something like Green Day would have dropped. It's just easygoing punk rock. Like rampant drug and alcohol abuse almost killed them, but they still like kind of churned out a classic punk rock Ramones record. And I didn't hate this. I would never ever get this on the vinyls. I'm not going to rank this above a 1.5. I'm not going to listen to it again, but I didn't hate this. Psychotherapy, dude, that was a fucking banger of a song. So there's a banger for you there. But I like this. I enjoyed this. This was fun. This is a fun punk rock record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So, man, your I don't know if something happened with your mic. Can you like adjust maybe like move the cord around or something? Because you sound distorted. I don't know. In the end, I don't know if people hear what I'm talking about, but
I mean, just hold it like this. Should I just hold it?
You sound a little bit better actually, but there's still like some distortion. But anyway, finish this up. My number 2, Road to Ruin, 4th record from 1978. This is the first departure from the classic Ramones sound of the downstroke guitars, just boring, overdone music. You know what I mean? There's just some more variance in the songwriting. And I don't know. It's just there's some like rockabilly kind of stuff going on too, like some of the slower songs, which is kind of cool. It's just I'm just glad they tried something different here. I do like I Want to Be Sedated. I know it's a cheesy song, but it's still a great fucking song. So this is like a good transition record for the band, and it was a flop. This is a total flop record, which is kind of crazy to me because those first 3 records.
I mean, they're all like kind of flops. Like they never
really went.
Nobody gave a fuck about them except for like supposedly the critics, right?
Yeah,
whatever the fuck that means. But
all right. So what do you got for number 1?
Number 1. Here we go. You ready for this one, kid?
Mm-hmm.
You hear me fine now?
No, I mean you still sound kind of far away. And just
what do you mean? How far away do I sound?
We're just gonna finish this out, and then I'll figure shit out later.
Fucking finish this out. Too Tough to Die, their 8th record. This is your number 1 too.
This is my number 1 as well. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yep, I know.
This was honestly, this is a pretty dope album. I'm gonna go back to this one this week after I decompress from the Ramones onslaught that I've listened to. I will go back to this one and listen to again. But there's a lot of fun influence. There's a lot of metal influence here. This record is heavier. It's edgier than pretty much anything they've done.
Yeah,
I guess it's more tough than anything else.
Yeah.
But I have like multiple bangers. I even like went to the demos of this one because I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking good. And like Warthog, fucking banger. Endless Vacation,
that's my
fucking banger.
Warthog is my banger. Yeah.
Dude, Warthog is such a good fucking song. And the demo of Danger Zone, even though it's Dee Dee singing, it's a good song. This is a cool record. I enjoyed this. And it was funny is when I got all those records when we first started collecting vinyl, and I got like the entire run of the Ramones up until I think it was halfway to Sanity or after that. The only one that I didn't have was this one.
The only one you might have kept.
I know the only one I might have kept was this one. So yeah, that's funny.
You had probably maybe 10 Ramones records?
Yeah, I listened to every single one. I fucking hated every single one. I got rid of
that was like 4. That was like 4 years ago now. At this point,
yeah.
You sold them all.
But yeah, this record's cool. I like I said, I'm gonna go back to this one this week after I've decompressed from the Ramones. I guess overload, and give it another spin. I might get this on the vinyls if it comes through.
All right, which it probably will at some point at your record store. So yeah, I mean this is Tommy Ramone came back with Ed. I forgot Ed's last name to produce this record.
Stasium.
It's just a rawer sounding recording, and like you said, like musically, genre wise, it's more of like a punk hardcore metal kind of record. There's a lot more of those elements, even with all the downstroking guitar. Like it's still varied enough to where it doesn't get dull, it doesn't get boring. And also apparently Joey didn't contribute a lot to this record. Apparently before it came out, he didn't feel well enough to record a record, so he kind of sat it out. He sang on all he did sing on all the songs but 3 of them, and I don't think he has any songwriting credits on this record. I think Dee Dee pretty much did everything. But yeah, no, it's a solid kind of hardcore light record. You know what I mean? It's just came out during that era. I mean, 1984. This is smack dab in the middle of the hardcore punk renaissance, honestly. So, yeah.
You know what other records? That guy Ed, he also produced a lot of Misfit stuffs that you like.
Oh, did he? Okay.
We just talked about him last week, and I don't remember the last Misfits record that you liked a lot.
Oh, Devil's Reign?
Yeah.
Which I didn't like a lot. It's just...
It was like your second favorite. No, or first favorite, I think. I think it was your first favorite.
Fourth, but that's fine. Only because it's a fun horror punk record. That's all that Devil's Reign is.
It's cute. It's fun. It's all right.
Has nothing on the Danzig era. Of course.
Misfits are overrated.
Okay, Skip.
Oh!
Fucking guy skipping our DMs like fucking, well, I don't like the Misfits. They're just a bunch of dorks. They're just dorks. They're dorks.
They're nerds. They're nerds. Nerds.
This guy thinking the Cramps are better than fucking Misfits. Buckle up, buddy. Buckle up.
Buckle up, baby boys.
Anyway. Too tough to die. That's our number one, but it's not the album of the week. So maybe it should have been, but who cares at this point, right?
I mean, like,
we got to do Ramones.
It's not a perfect record. So like, I'm not gonna. Who cares? We got to do Ramones because it's the only time we're ever doing Ramones. We're not doing it again.
I agree. I will never do Ramones again
unless somebody comes on the pod that really, really loves the Ramones and they say you have to do this one. Then we can do that and shit all over it. But this is it. This is all you're getting.
Yeah. All right. So thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. Watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, and that's it. That's all.
Give